Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your Week 8. Yes, Week 8 of college football. And this time of year means we get football every day of the week. We got Tuesday, October 14th action. We got 3 games for you in college football. Before we get to it, don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. Put in the comments what you like in either these games or any of the other games. And get in on our 20% off. Yeah, 20%. Spicy 20 saves you 20% off. So Week Pass becomes, instead of $99, it's just $79. Make sure you get in on that. That's $79 each. Of course, you can buy the individual top plays if you like. Instead of $30, you get 20% off of those as well. Use that promo code for me or IC all week long, all the way through Monday. All right, IC, got a pretty decent game here. I think better than the line suggests in this Liberty, New Mexico State. Liberty's at home here, favored by 10, total 47. I actually thought this line should be 7, maybe 7.5. What do you think?
Well, so first of all, yeah, big line. You have New Mexico State, who's 3-2, and Liberty, who is 2-4. And then Liberty, of course, has beaten them 3 straight times, right? 30-24, 49-35, and 33-17. So they certainly have the edge coming in. The question here is, can New Mexico State roll in off of their most recent win against Sam Houston and get some little revenge here, right? They did beat Sam Houston 37-10. I thought the game against New Mexico losing 20-38 or Louisiana take 14-49, that's kind of bad. But they did beat Tulsa and Bryant. Okay, so they're 3-2. So you got a team that's 3-2 that's on the road against Liberty, who has beaten them 3 straight times. Liberty comes in off of a nice win against UTEP. Liberty has played the tougher schedule probably. They lost to Old Dominion 7-21. They lost to James Madison 13-31. Yeah, and lost to Jacksonville State and Bowling Green State. But here's the thing. This team is 2-4. Their first win, of course, was against Maine. I like the fact that Liberty put up 19 points in their last game. I like the fact that New Mexico put up 37 points. I know this line is big, and it seems surprisingly big. And the reason why it's big is because, obviously, you have a head coach in Liberty that obviously has played a much tougher schedule, right? Also, Jamie Chadwell of Liberty's head coach is 14-2 at home. So that matters as well, too, right? So when you kind of put that into perspective, I think what's going to happen here is that you have Tony Sanchez here, who's in his second year at New Mexico State. This is a game that Liberty, I think they're starting to pick things up. That win against UTEP, I thought was pretty decent. I think that if there's a game that this team has to win, it's probably this one, right? Because their schedule gets a little bit harder going forward. I don't hold that loss against New Mexico against them at all. New Mexico is a 3-3 team. New Mexico had played Colorado State, UNLV. I mean, that's a good team that they played. And so I don't hold Liberty's loss, against that too much. So this is a tough game, Craig. But I think what I'm going to go with is Liberty. I feel like Liberty is coming around a little bit. I feel like their game against Jacksonville State was pretty decent. I like the fact New Mexico State comes off their biggest win of the year, beating Sam Houston State 37-10. I can see them having a classic letdown, and I would not be surprised at all to see Liberty cover. Believe it or not, this is a game, and I understand New Mexico State has revenge. But I like Liberty to cover, and I also think this game probably goes over the total, but I really just like Liberty in general. All right, Craig, Arkansas State here on the road against South Alabama. Arkansas State come in as a 7.5-point dog. Arkansas State won against Texas State 31-10 last game. South Alabama has lost literally 5 straight in a row. And it's a shame because South Alabama, Major Applewhite's a pretty good coach. They just had a really tough schedule, man. I mean, South Alabama, look who they play. They play Tulane and Auburn and Coastal Carolina, North Texas and Troy. None of these are chump schools. 2-4 team versus a 1-5 team coming in here. You got South Alabama, the team that has not won a game or has won one game but has 5 straight losses, as a 7.5-point chalk. Who do you like?
I like the over in this game. This South Alabama team has struggled. They've given up since that opening win against Morgan State or whatever that Morgan, I think is Morgan State. They've given up 33, 31, 38, 36, and 31. And Arkansas State gave up 30 last week themselves. I think this screams over. If I was going to take the side, I would take South Alabama minus 7.5. They're begging you to take Arkansas State. I wouldn't follow that bait. Like you said, I think South Alabama played the much tougher schedule. I think this one is like 30. I think they'll get in the 40s, actually. South Alabama probably low 40s. But I do think Arkansas State will probably score high 20s, low 30s, get us the over here. But if I had to take the side, I would take South Alabama minus the points. Last game we have for you for Tuesday night, FIU at Western Kentucky. This is not a good FIU team. Western Kentucky, I actually think is pretty good. They're 5-1 straight up and against the spread. Western Kentucky's favored by 9.5, total 55.5. Any letdown here for Western Kentucky, you think?
Well, I mean, first of all, what a huge public favorite they are. right? You have a FIU team that comes into this game. Western Kentucky beat this team 41-28, but that was 2 years ago. FIU, remember, has new coaching, right? They beat FAU 38-28. They had a tough game against Delaware, 16-38, that they were actually favored against. I went against them because I knew Delaware was a better team because we've been following Delaware pretty closely here. So I went against them in that game, and I took them as an outright win. They, of course, went into Connecticut and just got throttled 10-51. But I want you to know something. Don't hold that loss against them too much. Because that was a game in which, Connecticut had beaten Buffalo 20-17, and then they just laid the wood down on this team because last time they were at home, Connecticut barely beat Ball State 31-25, so they wanted to lay the wood down on somebody, and they did. This is the worst loss that FIU's had all year long. I mean, that loss against Penn State doesn't count, right? But then again, if FIU did beat Penn State at this point, I wouldn't have been surprised. But, this team lost at 10-51 to Connecticut on the road. Western Kentucky, of course, beats Delaware on the road. I get that. They beat Missouri State on the road. They beat Nevada on the road. I mean, Western Kentucky has looked good all year long. But I got to tell, and so what happens? So this line kind of favors FIU to do pretty well. So what happens when FIU does well? Well, FIU can score. They have an offensive-minded coach. So this line sits at 55.5 today, and only 55% are on the over. But remember, FIU, their coach is Willie Simmons, who's a running backs offensive-minded coach. Obviously, Tyson Helton is a former QB and a passing game coach too at Western Kentucky. I can see this game being in a fast-paced game too. That's why I loved your Arkansas State USA pick over too. I either like FIU in this game or I like Western Kentucky. The only problem is Western Kentucky doesn't get many primetime games. So when they get one here, they might want to just stump somebody. So I think the correct angle here is probably the over in this game.
All right, that's what we have for Tuesday's games. Don't forget, we cover every college football game, every NFL game. So make sure you go ahead and you like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us. You don't miss out on all the stuff. But if you want in our best plays, people always put in the comments, what's your best play? Do a best bet. We do. That's what our subscribers pay for. So if you log in, use that promo code SPICY20. Also, you can get a free $60 account. I forgot to mention it ahead of time. DocSports.com/ICCT. If you use that link that's right here on the screen, that'll get you a free 60 for new customers. But if you're an existing customer, use that promo code SPICY20.
Jump on YouTube Premium.
Yeah, and the YouTube Premium, you get a bunch of bonus plays, including live stuff. So make sure you click the link.
3 extra videos every day.
Yeah, like the link in the description will get you in, especially do it on the desktop to save some extra money. All right, guys, have a great day. See you again next time.